Shalom, and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is a recording of a Shabbat sermon with Rabbi Rebecca Schatz.
As we all experienced, Lincoln taught us beautiful Torah already this morning, so I'm just going to share a little nugget, but by way of giving you a blessing, Lincoln. So in just a moment, I'm actually going to have you come up here and stand with me so I can give you a blessing. Faith is complete trust, confidence, or belief in something, often held without physical proof. Faith is a word that we regularly use about religion, God, or future decisions. For example, I have full faith that Lincoln will be an exceptional bar mitzvah. And he was. Another example, I have faith in God that what I am doing in my life is what I am meant to be doing. And it feels that it is. There are times, of course, that faith is used as a synonym for hope. I have faith that the world will be a peaceful place, often said or thought during a time where that is not the case, in order to make sure that we live our lives both realistically, but also in a sense of positive action for change. Parashat Emor, as I said a moment ago, was already beautifully taught by you, Lincoln. And so now I want to offer you a blessing through one specific element of this episode in Leviticus. You may not have gotten a parsha about the splitting of the Red Sea or the 10 plagues, but you did get a parsha that tells us about the three major holidays, the Shalosh Regalim, and speaks to the importance of being a people of faith. When I say people, I, of course, in the context of Parashat Emor, mean the Jewish people, of which you have just become a man and full of responsibility. But I also mean humanity. This is a section of our Torah where we need to be reminded of the blessing and privilege of having faith. The holiday of Sukkot is a reminder of the humble origins of the Israelites and how changing our permanent home to be one that is outside, made of natural items and susceptible to nature, takes faith and needs reasoning. According to Rashbam in Parashat Emor, on the reminder of celebrating Sukkot, he says the real challenge of the Israelites, Moses warns, was not the danger we faced in the wilderness, but the opposite, the sense of well-being and security that we would have once we settle in the land. The irony, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks, Zichrono Livracha, says, is that in the story of nations, people remember and have faith in God in times of distress, but then they forget about God in times of plenty. So Sukkot seems to be a holiday of not only harvest, but faith and reconnection with God. Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks continues, quote, Israelites had the faith and courage to embark on a journey through an unknown land, fraught with danger and sustained only by their trust in God. And then we built Sukkot, vulnerable huts, to remind us of all of that. Lincoln, as you know, and as the superheroes of your drash have taught us, the world is not an easy place. Not for people, not for Jews, not for the unhoused, not for those seeking safety and refuge, not for those who are in any way different. And yet, in a world that is not easy, we stand up, we take out our cape, and we persevere through faith and vulnerability. The Israelite people built Sukkot to symbolize not just the experience through the wilderness, but the faith and readiness that they had in the years of exile that were to come. Becoming a bar mitzvah takes faith, not just in Jewish identity, which hopefully is strong, or skills to lead, which grow and become fluent. Not just in connection to Israel or community or Jewish family values. Becoming a bar mitzvah takes faith to just say, yes, this is something I can do in a world full of homework and sports and friends and other distractions. The people of Israel built Sukkot, and we of course still build them today, to remind ourselves to stay grounded in our faith. To praise the vulnerability that creates strength, and to take a step outside of what is typical, comfortable, and regular routine. It feels bizarre to talk about Sukkot in May, but maybe that's the reason that the recognition of this holiday is so late in our Torah reading cycle. Besukkot teshvu shiv'at yamim kol ha'ezrach beYisrael yeshvu basukot. You shall live in booths 7 days. All citizens in Israel shall live in booths. Leman yed'u dorotechem ki basukot hoshavti et bnei Yisrael behotzi'ei otam me'eretz Mitzrayim ani Adonai Elohechem. In order that future generations may know that I made the Israelite people live in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I, Adonai. We should live in the balance of vulnerability and faith. In order that we remember that God, in a moment where we could have settled, requested that we stay in the realm of the unknown just a bit longer. To stay faithful, to stay connected, to not get distracted by the mundanity, to sit in the adrenaline of faith and the prayer of trust. Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs finishes off his teaching by saying, I find it deeply moving. The Jewish tradition calls this time of Sukkot Zman Simchateinu, the season of our joy. That surely is the greatness of the Jewish spirit, that with no protection other than faith in God, the Israelites were able to celebrate in the midst of the unknown and affirm life in the full knowledge of its risk and uncertainty. That is the faith of a remarkable nation. Lincoln, you can come up here now. My blessing to you is that you remember this day as a sukkah in your life experience. A moment, don't worry about the tallis, you can just take it off like I did. A moment that took faith and vulnerability and a lot of trust. And hopefully made you feel exceedingly proud and capable and blessed. You are confident and very funny and curious and extremely calm. I hope for you, Lincoln, that this parsha always sits with you of one that was profound in your ability to teach Torah from difficult text, and that you were able to find grounding and new affirmation of skills and confidence in your Jewish life to come. Sukkot, like your bar mitzvah, is Zman Simchateinu, because it is a time of joy that we need to come back to, even when it is not the holiday or your actual bar mitzvah day. May you continue to find spaces in Jewish community where you are pushed to find your faith and use that vulnerability to always feel, use, and share your own strength. Mazal tov.
You've been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast website or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information on Temple Beth Am, Los Angeles, please visit www.tbala.org.